All right, so yeah, I'm just gonna ask you straight up, like just basically simple questions, and just explain kind of how you use the map and how customers, what your customers think of the maps and stuff like that. So basically, yeah. So your name is,
Rachel.
and where do you work?
At the Holiday Inn Express at the Halifax Airport.
Okay, and how long have you worked here for?
A little close to a year now.
Okay, and have you been using Mobi Maps the entire time you've been here?
We use these maps actually pretty much for everything. We give them to all of our tour groups and everyone that comes in, and mostly we use them with like the out of town guests that are here on vacation.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, like, I guess we'll come in and they'll say, "What is there to do in town? Where are we to go? Like, where, you know?"
Exactly.
How does it work?
Most times, guests will ask where's the best place to go, and it's usually always downtown, especially now that it's the summer.
Yeah.
So we basically use these maps to point out places like the main attractions, like Citadel Hill and the waterfront, and like the shopping districts, and where they can go to like eat around those places, and what they can do for fun around those places. So usually this map comes in handy because it has not only everything advertised around it, but also on the map. It makes it easier for them to see where they're actually going with the little icons.
Oh, well, that was actually my next question. Whether you thought that the advertisement helped, like, 'cause, you know, with the phone numbers and with the addresses and stuff like that.
It's easy for us to make reservations for people, and it helps a lot. And a lot of the time, we use this map to point out where the bus stop is, and direct the guests the best walking routes to get to the places where they'd like to go.
Okay, cool. And I guess you guys, because you guys are by the airport, you use the back of the map more, right?
So people will usually ask where they are in, like around this map. So we're usually like, well, you're way off this side, but as soon as you get onto this highway, but yeah, it helps a lot because a lot of the people that come here, their cell phone doesn't work for their data, so they don't have the map, like the mobile maps on their phones. And the big, huge Halifax, Nova Scotia map is much too much for to just take in the car with you, so these maps help a lot.
Oh, actually, that's an interesting point. So you're thinking that because people, when they're traveling, they turn their data off on their phone,
like
so
nobody wants roaming charges.
right. And so this sort of solves that problem because they get the map and And so do you take a pen and you draw on it and you write on
highlighter, draw, write, leave notes for them, help them with directions, like draw the route on there if they're driving.
And do people like use the map over and over? Like, do they come back to you and say, "Hey, I saw this on the map. Is this any good?" Like, do they ask you about the advertisements sometimes?
Actually, a lot of the time they'll actually be looking at the brochures over there and bring the map to us.
Oh, okay.
So it's a big eye catcher. People use it often. Like this is, I think, we only have 2 books of these left, and it hasn't even been through, like it hasn't been all
you've guys gone through a lot.
We go through these a lot.
Yeah. How many of these do you think you give away in a run of a day?
Oh, about at least 30, at least.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, that's and over a year, I mean, it starts to add up.
Oh gosh, yeah. And then when we have the tours in, like with the bigger tours that we do, most of the times it's like at least 100 folks a day. So we fold these up and we give them to them for that too.
Okay. And as a hotel, are you generally busier in the summertime? Are you fairly busy all year round? Are you seasonal?
Where we're at the airport, we have busier times, but we're fairly busy all the time. There's never nothing to do, that's for sure. But yeah, I feel like we get more tourists than most places downtown and things because people like to stay near the airport where they can easily get their flights, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like we're busy all the time, and things like these help.
Have you ever found out about a company that you didn't know about because you saw it on, like, do you look at the map and sort of see what advertisers are on here? Or?
There's a lot of stuff on here I didn't actually know about. And I live downtown, so that's a little embarrassing, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff on here that I had no clue about. And it helps, like this side over here helps because people will ask us about restaurants, and if you're stumped, all you have to literally do is look at the edge, and you'll find a restaurant to send them to.
That's
so
awesome.
The people that are on here have a great advantage, that's for sure.
Nice. And do you have you ever gone to any of the places that are on the map?
I've been to a few, but I don't have that much time.
Okay, all right.
I've been to a few of them. Like we go to brunch all the time at Cora's, and I've been to Rock Bottom and things like that. But
Well, I'm
Most
going
of
to
my
give you some.
recommendations come from here.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you some gift certificates to some of these places to hopefully go
Alright.
check them out. So.
I will.
Do people ask you, like, do people ever ask you stuff like, where are, like, if they want just museums or they want just nightclubs? Do people ask you for nightclub stuff, or what are there?
We get some nightclubs from the younger crowd. Of course, with the nightclub recommendation comes a hefty taxi bill.
Oh,
But
yeah,
we get a
yeah. 'Cause
lot
you
of
guys are in the
museums.
outskirts. Yeah.
We get a lot of like the museums and people wanting to be on the waterfront and wanting to take tours and wanting like walking tours, because there are maps for the walking tours, but we can actually use this to map out a walking tour of like the best attractions, and they don't have to go all the way downtown to find that map, right? So it comes in handy. It's a multi-purpose map, if you ask me.
And do you get people that want to go outside of Halifax, like do day trips to like Yarmouth
Oh my
or
gosh,
Cabot
yeah.
Trail? Or
Yeah, well, right now we have a lot of people that are coming here and getting RVs and driving across Nova Scotia.
Oh wow. Okay.
So things like this help. Like I said, we have the bigger maps, but we try to tend to use these ones more often because it's just more convenient for them.
Now, do you think if you had more, like where are some of the day trips that you try to send people? Do you do like winery tours? Do you do Yarmouth? Do you do Cabot Trail? What are some of the things?
A lot of them are either around Cape Breton because they want to go to like the Cabot Trail, or down like the Bay of Fundy area because a lot of people want to do the whale watching, or around Peggy's Cove because that's a huge, like the lighthouse is a huge deal. But outside of Nova Scotia, we have a lot of people that go to PEI. Anna Green Gables is huge. So we get a lot of people that are down the Bay of Fundy way and up towards Cape Breton, but I feel like if they had maps like these, it would be more helpful because of course we know of things that happen in those areas because we're in the tourism industry, we have to, but it would make it easier for us to direct people and show them where to go and the best things to do because we would have the advertisements. Like we don't know a lot of the restaurants. We don't know much else than what we get from brochures, right?
Right.
So it helps, but maybe,
that's interesting. Yeah, no, it's
something
something we're trying to think about whether it's viable for these businesses, whether it be worthwhile advertising.
I think it would.
Like Upper Clements Park or something like that.
I think it would because a lot of people spend their family vacations here.
Right.
Many people come. We get a lot of people right now from Florida coming up here to get away from their heat, and they just want to cool down.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of people that come up here for family vacations, but we don't. Like we can Google all day, but it would be easier if we had something on hand like we do for downtown.
Well, that's great. Well, you know what? That's amazing. You said some great things, and I really do appreciate it.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
No problem.
All right.